Hello, I'm Rhydian and welcome to Car Banana Cymru, helping you drive with confidence on the roads of Wales and beyond. Today we're tackling one of the most common and sometimes confusing parts of UK driving, roundabouts and mini roundabouts. Whether you're a learner preparing for your test or just looking to refresh your skills, this video will guide you through the rules, signals and safe techniques for using both standard and mini roundabouts. We'll break it down step by step from how to approach, who to give way to how and when to signal. We'll also explain how mini roundabouts are different and how to handle them correctly. So, buckle up, stay focused, and let's get into it. Roundabouts are easy to spot once you know what to look for. As you approach a roundabout, the first sign you'll often see is this red triangular warning sign showing a circular arrows. This tells you a roundabout is ahead. It's there to help you prepare early, slow down and get ready to give way. Here's an example. As I'm driving along this road in Bangor, North Wales, I'm approaching a roundabout and there's a roundabout triangle warning sign. Now in this example over here, I'm driving on another road in North Wales heading towards Rhydian, and I can see on my left there is a sign telling me that I'm approaching a roundabout, which is then closely followed by another red triangular roundabout warning sign. Mini roundabouts use a very similar sign, but you'll also notice a painted white circle on the road instead of a raised island. Now here's an example of a mini roundabout. As I approach, I can see a sign on the left, blue circle with white arrows going around it, and as I drive along, there's a white circle in the middle of the roundabout. Now while driving, you might come across a few signs to warn you that you are also approaching a roundabout or a mini roundabout, and here are some examples. On the left we have a mini roundabout ahead sign, in the middle we have a diversion route, and then on the right side we have a primary route roundabout ahead sign. In this example now, we're going to be taking the first exit on the left. First thing I notice is the sign which tells me where the first exit is, and I can see it's on the left side of the roundabout. Now as I approach the roundabout, I keep an eye on the road markings to make sure that I'm positioned correctly for the direction that I'm intending to take. My speed slows down so I can see what's coming from the right. I check my mirrors and signal, and then I follow the road along. And once I've entered the new road, I check all my mirrors again. In this next example, I'm going to be taking the second exit on this roundabout. So as I drive along over here, I notice a sign on the left again, and now this is going to tell me that the exit is slightly to the right of the roundabout. Now I keep an eye on my speed and I keep an eye on my road markings to make sure that I'm positioned correctly, but as I get closer I notice that there are 3 lanes. One lane is just for the left exit, middle lane for the second exit, and the third lane for the right exit. Now as I approach, I notice there's a little bit of traffic, so I leave a good separation gap between myself and the vehicle in front. But as I'm crawling forward, I glance over to the right side of the roundabout just to see the condition of the traffic, and I look ahead and I'm scanning my right, I'm scanning ahead, and when I see an opportunity I continue to follow the road along, and then the minute I pass the first exit I check my rear view mirror and my left mirror indicate to the left, and as I'm exiting I cancel the indicator and I check all my mirrors again. Now in this example we're going to be taking the third exit on the right. I can see on the road sign that I'm going to need to be on the right side in order to take this exit, so I'm going to check over my blind spot and move over to the right side of the dual carriageway. As I'm closer I can see 3 lanes, Now I need to make sure that I'm positioned to the correct lane, and I need to stay on the right lane because there's a right arrow on it, and then I apply the mirror signal maneuver routine. Once I can see that it's clear for me to go, I check my right, and then I continue to follow the road along, keeping myself positioned to the right. Now it's very important that I keep the indicator to the right on so people know that I'm taking the third exit, and then when I pass the second exit I check my mirrors and then signal to the left, checking over my left shoulder before then continuing across towards the new junction. Now here's another example, and we're going to be taking the second exit on this roundabout. I can see a sign on the left telling me that I'm approaching the roundabout. There's a red triangular warning sign. And as I continue to follow the road along, I can see another sign telling me where I need to position myself. I'm going to need to position myself to the right side of my lane, as it's clearly indicated on the road. Now I check my right as I get closer towards the roundabout, and I check the traffic ahead of me, and then if it's clear I continue to follow the road along, and then I do a mirror signal and then check over my left shoulder before I exit the roundabout. After that, another mirror check. Now as I'm driving in this town, I can see on the left a mini roundabout sign, and on this mini roundabout I'm going to be taking the second exit. Now generally you don't need to signal right on a mini roundabout when exiting the second exit. However, it's a good idea to check your mirrors and ensure you have clear visibility before proceeding. Mini roundabouts are smaller and less maneuverable, making it potentially dangerous to try to signal and steer simultaneously. In this example, I have another mini roundabout. I look ahead and to my right to make sure that it's clear and continue to follow the road along without indicating. So let's summarize on how to deal with roundabouts, in particular positioning. So when we approach, we need to slow down and check road signs and lane markings. Decide which exit you need to get into the correct lane early. Observations: give way to traffic coming from the right unless signs or markings say otherwise. Look ahead and to the right as you approach. Position and signal. We need to make sure that we know where to position ourselves and when to signal when we exit. Speed and control. Keep a steady speed if it's clear, be ready to stop if needed, but don't rush and better wait than to cut in. When we exit, we have to signal left as we approach the exit. We also look out for pedestrians and cyclists. And that wraps up our guide on how to position yourself correctly and exit a roundabout safely. Remember, always reduce your speed when approaching, stay in your lane while circulating, and use your indicators to signal when you're exiting. Keep an eye out for other vehicles and pedestrians and give way to traffic already inside the roundabout. By following these tips, you'll be navigating roundabouts with confidence and safety. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more driving tips. Safe driving, and see you on the next video. Go bananas.